Happy New Year, everyone! So I have finished the campaign as far as the normal difficulty of the campaign is concerned in Path of Exile 2. Finally, yes, it took me a while, getting my monk through the first 3 acts of the game, beating the final boss, and now I have transitioned to Cruel difficulty. In case you don't know how it works yet, basically during the beta phase, what the Grinding Gears games have done is that they gave us 3 acts of the main campaign. You finish the campaign, then you reset back to the beginning. And you kind of go more or less exactly the same way through the same 3 acts, same thing, but Cruel difficulty. Different drops, slightly harder difficulty, and then at the end of beating 6 acts in total, you get to the end game. So in this video, I wanted to tell you my interim kind of thoughts. So let's say I'm halfway through the game right now. Let's be honest. What do I think in general? First of all, to address the sentiment that some people said after I posted about those OP builds, overpowered builds, such as Ice Strike Monk, this character, such as the others, they said that, and now they're nerfed. At least someone said in the comments or alleged that they have been nerfed, and they are not as OP anymore. Well, my friends, at least I have not noticed it. That's the first thing for you. So in case you think, I'm late to the party, Gyro talked to us about playing OP builds while we can to enjoy ourselves, I still think you should. This Ice Strike Monk is still very enjoyable, and the only thing I'm gonna say is he still feels as strong as ever, but I died 2 or 3 times to Doriani, to the last boss. I disagree with the OP on a high horse pro creators, even the creators of this particular build, such as Rax, who just basically say, everything is just a wave of a magical wand, everything just dies. Yes, it dies. Yes, it's an OP build. Yes, it hits very, very hard, as you see here on the screen. That's why I'm overlaying it for you. However, I can tell you, you still die, because there are no defensive layers. And as you approach the Cruel difficulty, especially in melee range that the monk is working on, I can tell you, it's not magic. You're still gonna die if something one-shots you, if you still for the very first time exploring boss's mechanics, and they caught you in something you didn't expect. Yeah, something semi-randomly, not predictable pattern of the boss. They just simply were aiming that way, and then they shot that way, and that's where you were, and you're dead. It will still happen. So if I was pushing through Cruel, and if I was to say to you what's missing from this build right now, it's definitely not end game ready, and you would need to, from this point onward, I would do, if I was continuing right now, I would invest now into defensives. So far I've done nothing for defensive layers, nothing. Just like Rax, just like others, I was pushing all out damage. And as you can see, for an OP build like this one, or for an OP build that is like a Summon Raging Spirit's Witch, or Lightning Arrow Deadeye, or some others, Spark, apparently Sorceress right now is not bad either, apparently, haven't checked it out for myself yet, very keen to check it out. Apparently, people are saying, it's just go all out damage, and until the end game you have 0 problems, 0 deaths. Somehow they managed to, my hat is off to them, honestly, I'm not mocking it, but I can tell you it is not my experience. I've died a couple of times. But yes, the output of damage is ridiculous. It's still ridiculous. Ice Strike Monk, as one example, is not nerfed. I can tell you at the moment of me publishing this, on the 1st of January 2025, Happy New Year once again, it is not the case. Keep going strong, keep playing, you're gonna be fine. Now with that, slightly longer intro, but hopefully you treat it as a status update kind of thing from me as well, I will show you what my build is looking like right now. Especially it's of relevance to my console players. You will not have access to any POBs or anything like that, unfortunately for you, my poor friends. So now it's time for us to take a look at my build itself at this stage of the game, at the very start of Cruel campaign walkthrough. First of all, might as well, it's front and center on the screen here, I am an Invoker Monk Ascendancy. I've done Trial of Sekemus, I've done Trial of Chaos first times, and I've taken I Am the Blizzard, and I've taken I Shall Rage, the Unbound Avatar, which is a very strong skill that simply I'm using on the bosses. As far as the progression of the build is concerned, very, very simple. I went all out damage, as already mentioned to you. First to Flow Like Water, then to Crushing Wave, then returning and taking Essence of the Storm, extra lightning damage and extra cold damage. That's the kind of focus of this. I've taken Moment of Truth to capitalize on the critical hit chance, as well as critical damage bonus increase, because we're critting a lot on this build. I've taken this cluster fully, as you can see, other than this fire-based, ignition-based kind of bonus, which I'm not doing, of course, so I don't need it. I've taken Echoing Frost and I've taken Echoing Thunder. I have progressed upward here and I've taken Killer Instinct, and I've taken Tenfold Attacks. I've also taken the Resonance as far as power charges and endurance charges are concerned. I don't think that this works particularly well for me. I am more of a direct damage scaler. I'm not interested in this bit. But that's what I've taken. I've also taken, obviously, Essence of the Mountain, extra damage as cold damage, and increased freeze build up. Yes, please. Everything will freeze. I have taken increased attack damage, and I'm now progressing towards this end, having taken the Leech of the Mana, having increased the critical strike hit chance for attacks and the damage against rares and uniques. That's awesome. 30% increased attack damage against rares and uniques. And where am I going with this? If I was to continue, and what Rax again has done, kind of cross promotion of his build, I'll go all the way here, I'll go all the way up here, and I'll take quite a lot of notables, not all of it, but a lot of it, the staff-based thing. So one with the River, 30% increased defenses when wielding a staff. That's a massive increase to your defenses, all of them, right? The increased attack speed with quarter staves, yeah, increased accuracy with quarter staves. And then power charges. This is where probably power charges, if I was playing with that, so this is where I'm not sold on this bit. I may or may not take that. So that's for you as a very quick, not pretending to be a full build guide, but an overview of a snapshot of where I am at and where I would have taken this build if I was continuing to play it. And that's it, my friends. I'm very much enjoying Path of Exile 2. I have just revisited Path of Exile 1, and I have done what a lot of my subscribers asked me to do for a long time, and that is recreate a new Arc Witch Elementalist build for Path of Exile 1, so that people who play Path of Exile 1 still can have fun if Path of Exile 2 is not necessarily something for them. Well, it's not everything is for everyone, I'm not judging, and I myself will play both games, especially as more leagues kind of keep coming in 2025 our way. I can't wait, to be honest with you, but Arc Witch Elementalist build, if you missed it, is available right now for you. Go have a look. Maybe you feel like switching from Path of Exile 2 anyway and going having fun there, slaughtering everything in troves. Yeah, do that, that's a fun build as well. For me, I am going to go back to finishing the build of my SRS, Summon Raging Spirits, Witch, Summon a Witch, and kind of progressing perhaps to the same-ish level of the game, beating the final boss, beating Doriani, referring kind of to that build, talking to you then from the educated perspective of how both builds compare to each other. Ice Strike Monk versus, let's say, also OP build of the Witch. And then don't forget, I also have kind of started and tasted definitely the pleasure of playing the Lightning Arrow Ranger, Deadeye Ranger. That is also something waiting for me. This is probably the type of content you can expect from me, as well as I'm always open to your feedback and to your requests of content or focus on the content in the comments below the video. Please do that. We can talk about that anytime. I welcome your both feedback and requests. And like the video if you don't mind every single time when you watch my videos. This helps YouTube algorithm to show it to more people, and it tells me that I'm doing something right and that you appreciate my content still. Thanks for watching. That's where my Ice Strike Monk is. That's where the future of the content for Path of Exile 2 in the foreseeable few weeks ahead is going. Thanks for still being with me here, and I'll talk to you next time about something else, Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2 related. Goodbye for now.